This is pretty this morning. All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So we have, full body strength coming at you guys this morning. If you have some type of resistance, whether it's dumbbells, whether it's plates, whether it's household items, you're going to want to have those with you while we're working today. For the workout today, good morning. If you guys have not, I'm going to have to figure out something to do with this dog because he just wants to be involved in everything, don't you? So this morning, what we've got is a sort of a little bit more traditional sitting in the strength training arena. So 3 rounds of the same set of movements, targeting full body. And then we've got a little, like minute, and that's it. Then we're out. And if you want to stay on, you can do yoga or pyo. We have those coming later today for you. But lots of options. And I'm trying to, sadly my timer, the watch that I was using for my timer died, and so I'm trying to get another option set up. But yeah, guys, we'll get started in just about a minute here. So find some space, make sure the floor is cleared. Grab your weights, grab your water, maybe grab your coffee if it's that time of the morning for you. And then we'll get going. All right, guys, so once you've got space on the floor, I need to fix the angle here of this so I'm not shoved in the corner there. No, don't you chew on those. Whew. All right, guys, and hopefully we've all got our MyZone belts on. We're gonna start our Apple Watches because I forgot to last night, which was very frustrating. All right, so guys, we're gonna start our warm-up. We just have about 30 seconds of several different movements to get us loose and ready. How many different movements? 1, 2. All right, so when you're ready, find space, and we are just gonna start with squats. So nice and easy, down and up. Keep your chest lifted as you sink your hips towards the floor. Press the knees towards the outside of the feet. And you can play with the width between your feet, a little narrower, a little wider, whatever works best for you, feels good for you this morning. All right, guys, next up, we're gonna take a squat, and then we rotate at the top. So lift your back heel, twist your torso. If you wanna let the arms go with it, you can either just take the elbows wide, or you can extend the full arm. As you lift that back heel, squeeze your back glutes. All right, team, next move, lateral lunge. We step out and in, right and left. Back leg stays straight. Whoop. And then push the feet together to the middle. Keeping the hips square, push the glutes back. So I've just found out my timer starts counting down from 10 is when I hear it beeping, which I feel like is a little extra. All right, guys, just out of rotation again. So opposite arm reaches towards opposite foot, or maybe just the calf, or maybe the outside of the foot, depending on how your body feels this morning. Keep the rotation to just the rib cage. Hips are still square. All right, guys, next move, we have a standing knee pull. So take the arms up overhead, and then we pull knees towards chest, hands towards hips. So getting those fingertips above the head is going to help warm up through the shoulders, and this is going to get our heart rate pumping a little harder. All right, guys, next up, come to the floor. Set up a hover. Forearms to the floor, knees or toes. Ow, Otis. Keep the hips down low. Press the floor away with the forearms. Activate through the upper body. And then from here, step up to plank. Again, knees or toes. So wrists are directly below the shoulders. Shoulders pulled down and away from the ears. If you've been on your knees, maybe try coming up to your toes for just a couple seconds. Keep breathing. Then our last move in the warm-up is a three-pointed mountain climber. So we take it to opposite elbow, to the middle, outside elbow. Opposite, middle, outside. Opposite, middle, outside. Whoops, did it backwards. If you're still on your knees, just take out the opposite elbow. Bring it to the middle and bring it to the outside. 10 more seconds, guys. All right, and hold. All right, guys, for our workout, we have 1 minute on in each strength training move, and then a 15-second rest between movements. Our first one, ideally, we're on the floor. We come to one knee, and we have one plate. So we are kneeling. The side where the knee is on the floor, we have an overhead shoulder press. So this kneeling position causes us to isolate more intensely, I guess that's the word I'm looking for, in the midsection to stabilize through the shoulder. If that kneeling position is not comfortable for you, come up to a crescent lunge instead of having the knee on the floor. 1 minute on one side, 1 minute on the other side, and then we'll have 15 seconds to show the next move. So let me just set up our timer here. So again, 1 minute on, 15 seconds recovery, and then we move to the next move. All right, first side in 3, 2, 1, go. So elbow starts in tight, and then we press the palm forward. So palm faces in, and then faces front. Brace through the midsection. You should really feel the obliques having to fire to hold your torso still. And then there's also a squeeze happening in the glutes, on that bottom leg and the quads. The focus is still on the shoulder. That's the super active muscle. But then we've got everything else involved to add that level of stabilization. And if you are up in that crescent lunge, same principles apply. You are bracing, you're stabilizing to fire through the shoulders. You got 10 seconds. Hopefully you're starting to feel it in that shoulder. 1 minute to get that burn going pretty good. All right, hold 15 seconds to recover. Switch legs. Reset the posture. Belly button pulls into the spine. Bring the plate to the shoulder, and we go in 3, 2, 1. 1 minute. Press and pull. So any movement we're doing today, guys, I want you to try and focus on both ends of the move. So as we press and as we return, we are staying active in that muscle. Both phases, the push and the pull, concentric and eccentric. We want to have control over everything that we do. Everything's intentional. Everything has a purpose. Check in with your shoulder blade. Is it starting to wing, or are you still pulling down towards the spine, stabilizing through the upper body? We got 15 seconds left. Glutes still squeezed, core still tight. 5 seconds. All right, guys, next up, grab a secondary plate or a second weight option. We have a rear delt lift with a tip. So we tip from the hips, lift wide, and then stand tall. Starting in 3, 2, 1, go. So push the hips back, and then we squeeze the glutes to stand tall. When you take that rear delt lift, palms face the floor, knuckles reach towards the outside wall. As you lift, try to make sure arms and plates are in line with your shoulders, not reaching too far forward or too far back. As we stand, really focus on driving your heels down to get that squeeze in your glutes. Spine stays long, nothing rounds. Shoulder blades pinch together the whole time. So they're constantly squeezing. Then we add that extra squeeze at the top. 1 more. All right, hold, guys. Next one, jump squats, but we're keeping them small. So if you want, grab a plate. Plate comes to the collarbone, feet slightly wider than hips, and we've got little pulses. In 3, 2, 1. So sink down, little pulses, little pushes off the floor. Chest stays tall, belly stays braced. We don't want to come out of the squat fully because we want to keep tension on the muscles. If you're not feeling that jump, you can stay low in the pulse here without leaving the floor. A minute is a long time to stay in that. So if you need to stand, shake out the legs, take 1 deep breath, and then come right back in. We're already more than halfway there. You should feel the glutes starting to fire, quads on fire. Down to 10 seconds. Stay on, stay in. Woo! 3, 2, 1, hold. All right, guys, next, standing kick back row. So once again, we hinge from the hips, plates lift up, kick back, in, and release. 3, 2, 1. Up, press, in, and down. So we engage all the muscles through the back of the body. We've got to lift the elbows high so we get into the triceps on that kickback. Then on that initial lift, we're using the muscles of the upper back to pull the plates up to the ribs. And then we are holding in this hinged position. 1, to help us get the work into the back of the body. 2, we've got to work stronger through our core. And after those jump squats, you might be feeling this position a little in the hamstrings and glutes too. Down to 5 seconds, guys, 5 seconds. All right, next up, we've got a pulse lunge. So whichever leg you want to start with, we're stepping back long, hips and shoulders square. We are going to drop to that 90-90 position and hold with little pulses down. So drive out of the front heel. You can keep the plates or you can drop them, your choice. In that lunge, our front knee is right above our ankle. It presses further towards the outside of the foot. That's going to help us engage through the glutes and outer thighs. It's also going to help keep our knees safe. Shoulders are back and down. Shoulders, hips, and back knee should be in one line from top to bottom. Your front thigh, especially your glutes, should be starting to burn. You got 15 seconds left. Stay low, stay in it. Just like that squat though, if you need to quickly release, then come right back in. Whoop. 10 seconds. All right, guys, release. Shake it out. We got 2 legs. That means we got to do that again. Whew. Still have 5 seconds to recover. Step back and sink down. Little pulses, guys, little pulses. Whoop. We want to try to hold that front thigh as close to parallel as we can. And your focus should be in that front leg. Weight is heavy in the front leg. We're not leaning back. We're not pushing our weight into the back leg. We're forward. Whoop. Halfway there, guys. Feel your front heel connect to the floor. And see, as I'm looking in the camera, I can see I'm tilting a little bit. So I want to lift up and reset. Drop back down. Tuck through the back hip. Opening up the front thigh. Or excuse me, back thigh. Woo! Release, guys. Last move. We've got an alternating front raise, but we're starting with the hands up, level with the shoulders. 3, 2, 1, hands up. So we constantly hold that lifted position. Then we allow one arm to lower while the other holds steady. Keep your shoulders drawn back, pinching the shoulder blades together. And we just come to the height of our shoulders. We're not lifting any higher. And as that plate comes towards the thighs, we're using resistance, right? Not just letting it fall. Think about pushing the plate down towards your thigh. Keep the chest lifted, soften through the knees. And your core should stay constantly braced throughout this work. What does it mean when I say brace our core? If I were to come through that camera and sucker punch you in the gut, what would you do? It's that feeling. That tension is how we brace. Hold, guys. All right, 15 seconds, we go back to the top. So that means we come back to the floor for our kneeling overhead lunge. Plate comes to the shoulder. We start in 3, 2, 1. Push, pull. Whoop. Tried to add 2 weights to go a little bit heavier. My hand's not quite big enough. Don't jump on me now. And see? Extra stability training. Ew. Dogs are gross, y'all. Get down, please. Oh, good. You stopped my timer. Keep going, guys. Luckily, we're only on the first one. We'll say we're about halfway. Does that sound good? And I'll move this somewhere where the dog can't step on it. Take it 10 more seconds, teen. Are you barking at me? 3, 2, 1. I don't know how to jump this. All right, guys. Switch sides. In 3, 2, 1, go. So switching sides. There we go. That's probably better. So when you are lowered, keep that elbow tucked in, and then we want to reset it in that same position. So we're firing through the shoulders, but if we keep that elbow tucked, we can engage all sides of that shoulder girdle. Front, side, and back. And then you might feel a little squeeze right through here as you reset and control back to that tucked in position. 15 seconds. Belly braced. Hey, Otis. 2, 1, hold. All right, guys, next move is our deadlift with that rear delt raise. So stand up, find space. 3, 2, 1. Hinge from the hips, open wide. And then squeeze through the glutes to stand. And I want you to exaggerate that squeeze as you come tall. How do we do that? Really driving the heels down into the floor and pulling those hips so they are right below your ribs. Did you get them? Halfway there, team, halfway there. Can you go lay down? That hinge comes right from the hips. It's not about lowering the plates. It's not about lowering your chest. It's about pushing your hips back to the wall behind you. Three, 2, 1. Next up, we've got the squat. So plate comes to the collarbone. Whoop. Watch out, bud. And again, you can jump. You can stay low in that pulse. 3, 2, 1. So it's sort of like the middle range of our squat. So we're coming down and then coming about 3/4 of the way up. Not fully standing, but still getting a decent range of motion. So we are targeting multiple muscles. And again, you can keep the feet down, or you can add that little pulse, that little jump. You want to feel the heat on this one, guys. We're halfway. If you're taking that jump, make sure you push off the toes, but then settle into the heels as your hips sink down. All right, and hold. Next up, standing kickback row. So 2 plates, maybe a little heavier. 5 seconds, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest, and then sink through those hips, up, back, in, and down. As you guys lift up, your elbow should be at about 90 degrees. Then we push back and reset to that 90-degree mark. So don't bring it into your shoulder. Keep the elbow right below, or the plate right below the elbow. So that way we keep the work in the triceps. Elbows should stay squeezed in tight to the torso. That's going to help, again, keep the work in the triceps in the back of the body. If you can lift the elbows just a little higher, you're going to get that much more work into the back and that much more isolation through your triceps. Hold. Woo. All right, guys. Pulse lunge. I think this is officially my least favorite move that I've built into this workout. Pick whichever leg you want to work first. Step back long and drop in. So 1 minute pulses, guys. Chest is up, shoulders pinched together. Belly button draws in, open through your back hip. That's going to help you get the range and help you get the form. Drive out of the front heel. When we are finished this 1 minute, that front glute should be on fire. Breathing a little heavy, hopefully. Less than half to go. It's really those last 20 seconds where it gets you. And we're down to 15. Less than 10. Whew. Shake it out and get ready for the other side. Whew. Anybody else get that little like euphoric feeling when you release the tension in the muscles? Kind of like the blood rushing back to your head. Switch legs and go. So guys, if you are struggling with this, if your legs are dying, come a little higher in that lunge pulse. But we still keep our front knee over our ankle. We still have a long stride. We're just not dropping quite as low into our range, but nothing changes with the form. And you will still get that burn in the glute, even if you're not all the way down there. But if you're ready for it, come all the way down there. Get nice and low. Press up and out of the heel, guys. 10 seconds, 10 seconds. Woo! Shake it out, shake it out. Last move. Front raise with the drop. So, again, shoulders back and down, lift up, and lower. Woo! So as you lower, you also want to try and keep that elevated arm from moving. So looking at my feet, I'm doing much better holding my right arm still than I am my left arm. My left arm wants to follow a little bit. So I got to try and fight that. While still drawing back through the shoulder blades, keeping tension. Whoop. Again, I tried to add a little weight by picking up a secondary plate, and my hands aren't quite big enough to hold it. But we've only got 11 seconds, so I'm going to hang in there. I'm going to fight for it. All right, guys, hold. One last round, one last time. So come back to the floor, back to that kneeling overhead press. Round 3, last time through these moves, and then we've got core to finish. Ready, set, go. Push and pull. If you haven't yet, guys, check in with how you're feeling. If you have the ability, see if you can add a little more weight for our final round. Worst comes to worst, you hit failure, you got to drop set and get back in with something lighter. Or you can even put the weight down completely, push and pull using body weight. It lets you dial in a little bit more on the muscles you want to feel activating with a little less resistance. You're halfway. Still bracing through our core, holding steady. So I went heavier in this one, guys, and I can feel my shoulder starting to creep up towards my ear as I'm fatiguing. So I got to try and fight that and keep quality through the end. All right, release, shake it out, switch sides. Woo! Shoulders are going to be burning after this one. Reset, guys, in 3, 2, 1, go. Push and pull, push and pull. Keep the elbow close, keep it tight. Belly button draws in strong. Breathe with the movement. Almost there, team, almost there. Again, if you need to, shake it out. Take a couple body weight reps if you went heavier. And then for the last 10 seconds, get back in there. All right, hold. Whew. Next up, we've got deadlift to rear delt raise. Again, I'm going to challenge you. This is the last round. Every opportunity, try to go a little heavier. Again, worst comes to worst, we got to put it down and switch. 3, 2, 1. Hinge, lift, and rise. Don't forget to squeeze the glutes. Think about pulling your hamstrings down the back of your thigh bone. That pull is what gets you to stand tall. If you went heavier for this one, on that rear delt, don't worry as much about height. Worry about taking the plates out wide and really feeling that pull from the back of the arms to lift you, as opposed to momentum from the plates. 10 seconds. Whew. All right. Jump squats. Plate to collarbone if you want it. Set the feet. And here we go. So I want to try and go a little heavier. So I'm going to take out the jump so I can stay in the rep counts longer. If you went heavier, you might feel your core working more. We've got to brace super strong through those abdominals to support the low back while we are in this low loaded position. Press the heels down. Feel how that squeezes your glutes more as you are moving. Still make sure hips are back, knees behind the toes. Chest stays lifted, shoulder blades draw together. Down to 10 seconds. All right, hold, guys. Woo. What's next? Standing kickback row. Posture comes first. Set it tall, draw the ribs in. Let's go. Lift, press, in and down. 2. So as we press back, you want the back of your palm like it's punching through the wall behind you. That's going to help really bring the fire into your triceps. Halfway. Spine is long, guys. Shoulders away from the ears. Final set. Stay in it. Stay strong. 3, 2, 1. Woo! My favorite. Pulse lunges. Last set, guys. Last set. Step back long. Drop the back knee. And we're in. We're in. Again, play with the range to keep you in the work. If you've been holding plates, maybe drop one. Maybe drop both. If you drop one, keep the one opposite your forward leg. Help to counterbalance and keep you in the work. Stay strong, stay lifted. If your body's feeling like anything like mine, this is going to be the biggest test we have left, is making it through these 60 seconds. Otis is here to help us. Really help. Sit down. No, get down. Get down. Oh, come on, dude. I got 5 seconds. Let me stay in. Woo. All right, guys, shake it out. Switch sides. Oh, I'm sorry. I put my weights on your bone. Here, do you want this? You want that? Go get it. Switch. In 5, 3, 2, 1. Sync and pulse. You also might notice maybe one leg's stronger than the other. Maybe you're having an easier time on one side as opposed to the other. That's okay. It's a good thing to check in on it and be aware of. And then we work to train to even out those imbalances. And that's too much to talk about here. But if you've got questions on that, or you're finding that to be the case for you, shoot me a message. We'll get you covered. Woo! Down to that 20-second mark. It's where it's really starting to burn. Reconnect to that front heel. Fire in the glutes. Last 5. Ooh, stand. Ooh, my legs feel like cement. Front raise. Last move in this circuit. Then we got core to finish. Lift them up, shoulders back. Move with control. Drop and lift. And again, watch your plates. Watch the one that is elevated. Make sure it is not following its sister down towards your thighs. Halfway. Oops. Got totally distracted there. I was trying to fix my grip. All right, guys, release. Okay, team, core training. 5 moves, 30 seconds each, 2 times through. Gonna shift the camera just a bit here so you guys can see. All right, guys, so come on down to the floor, grab a drink of water, This is gonna go really well. Core is Otis's favorite, or really anything with us on the floor. Nope, nope. All right, guys, 5 different moves. First one is a side hover with a leg lift. So forearm is gonna go to the floor, right below your shoulder, elbow right below your shoulder, and then we lift the top leg. What did you just get? All right, come on here. Look, ready? What's this? What's this? Oh, ready, 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 go get it. Hope that works. All right, guys, so 30 seconds, each move, side hover lift, in 3, 2, 1, go. So put the forearm on the floor, we lift through the bottom hip, and then we lift the top leg. Lifting from the heel, keeping the hips and shoulders square. If you need an option, bring your bottom knee down to the floor. Thank you. Come on, stop, dude. You guys have 5 seconds. And then we're gonna switch sides. 3, 2, 1. Switch sides, same thing. Other side. Come here. You're gonna go to bed. Come on, go. Otis, go to bed. Go. Five minutes, that's all. All right, guys, on the other side, you got 15 seconds left. 15 left. So we are lifting the top leg, working into the outer glute, lifting through the bottom hip to target the obliques. 3, 2, next move, on your back. Fingertips to temples, bottom of the feet together. We have a clamshell crunch. So we are lifting, touching, elbows to knees, pulling ribs and hips together, keeping the feet pressing. Next move, guys, we're staying on our backs. Finish it up, 2, 1. All right, guys, we've got leg lifts. So legs go long, we lift up to the ceiling and control back. Keeping the low back pressing towards the floor. If your low back is starting to lift, keep your feet closer to the ceiling, or change the move. Bend the knees, pull the thighs in towards the chest. Both are working the low part of the abs. And both, we want to make sure, again, your low back does not lift as we move to the lowering phase. 3, 2, 1. Last move. Heels go down, shoulders come up. We've got heel taps. So working into the obliques, drawing oblique down towards the hip. If you want a little more, reach for the inside of the heels. Try to keep the shoulder blades up off the floor. Keep breathing. 3, 2, 1. All right, guys, and we do them one more time. All right, guys, so back to that side hover lift in 3, 2, 1, go. 30 seconds. So elbow below the shoulder, we lift the top heel, firing into the outer glutes. And again, lower obliques are working because we are lifting that bottom hip away from the floor. Make sure your hips don't fall back. Squeeze your glutes through so it's a straight line down the front of the body and a straight line floor to ceiling. 3, 2, 1. Switch sides, switch sides. Set it up and lift. Stop. Lay down. Almost there, guys. And by almost, I mean halfway. Five seconds. All right, release on the back, clamshell. So bottom of the feet together, pull the elbows in towards the knees. Big exhale to help get a big contraction through that midsection. All right, guys, leg lifts. So straight legs or bent knees. Hey! Try to keep belly button pulled in towards the spine. And breathe. A little cheat. You can put the fingertips right below your glutes. And that'll help you just a bit in that movement. 5 seconds. All right, guys, plant the heels, shoulders up, heel taps. Firing into the obliques. Again, try to get the shoulders up off the floor, shoulder blades up off the floor. And if you want more, reach for the inside of the heel. Inside instead of outside. Otis. Almost there, almost there. All right, guys, hold. Take the fingertips above the head. Take a nice big stretch. Take the knees into the chest. Give them a nice big hug. Place one leg down. Extend the other leg to the ceiling. Nice big stretch through the hamstrings. Press the hips down towards the floor. Take that extended leg. Take the ankle over your bottom knee. Start by just gently pressing the thigh open and feel how that opens your hip. Then grab your bottom leg, pull it in towards your chest, and see how that takes the stretch deeper into the outer hip and glutes. All right, guys, switch sides. Other leg to the floor, other leg to the ceiling. Make sure you grab the calf or the hamstring. Don't pull behind your knee. Same leg, ankle over knee. First, start by just gently pressing open, feeling that opening through the hip. And then try to keep that opening. Flex your top foot and bring the bottom leg in towards you. All right, guys, gently grab onto the back of the thighs. Rock and roll to a seated position. And then slowly, in your own time, make your way to stand. Just 2 more stretches here, team. Adjust the camera back up there. Trip over my weights. All right, guys, take your heel to the glutes. Stretch out the quads. Push the hips forward. All right, guys, and switch sides. Knees together. Palms together. Press to the front of the room, separating your shoulder blades. Take the hands out wide. Start by pressing back, opening through the chest. Turn the palms back away from you. Press even further behind, then bring the fingers together back behind you. Press the knuckles down towards the floor as you lift up, opening through the chest and the front of the shoulders. All right, guys, release your torso. Roll out the shoulders. And that does it for full body strength training this morning. So thank you guys so much for joining. Hopefully you feel good. You feel like you got a little pump going on. Those of you, if you do have your My Zone, just so you know, mine was in the dark gray, the blue, and the green the whole time, which is okay because typically I spend a lot of time in yellow and red during the week. So we need that sort of mid-level heart rate intensity. So it's okay if you didn't scorch your heart rate here in this workout. And the other thing that I like to talk about sometimes, all calories are not necessarily created equal. So strength training, even though it might not, according to your fitness tracker, burn as many calories, it's still different and it's still an important part of our training routine. Thanks, Laurie. Glad you liked it. Glad you felt it. All right, guys, have a beautiful Saturday. And again, we've got we've got, what do we have? We have Pyo, we have Vinyasa Yoga, and we have Yin Yoga. If you guys have not tried Yin before, it's a really, really great restorative, kind of slow-paced stretch. If you haven't checked it out, I recommend that you do. Thanks, guys. And Angela, I teach a little bit of all over. I have regular classes at Ford Avenue, Canton, and Whitemarsh, and then occasionally we'll sub throughout the other clubs. So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining, and have a great day. Bye.